Hi. Okay, so I was a little mixed up with where we are in the booklet. We are now on page 54. So 2.1, what is a power? Let me write that down. 2.1, what is a power? So if you have your booklet open, that would be handy so you can follow along, because the examples and stuff I'll pull from there and the questions I ask will come from there, so you're not doing it twice over. Okay, so the first part we want to understand is kind of what is a power, an exponent, and a base. Okay, so if I write the number 2, say to the 5, okay, so the 2 is the base. Okay, the 5 is the exponent. And this whole thing is called the power. Okay, I'm pretty sure you've got that, but let's try a couple others. Okay, so example, the power 3 to the 7th. Okay, what is the exponent? Okay, the exponent is 7. Okay, and what is the base? The base is 3. Okay, and so what we're saying here with this one is we're saying 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Oh, I shouldn't have chosen 7 times 3 times 3. Okay, so we're saying that we have 7 factors of 3. Okay, whereas here we're saying, let me change my pen. Okay, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. We're saying that we have 5 factors of 2. Okay, and this is called, when we write it out like this is called repeated multiplication. Okay, and we've already seen this. We've seen quite a few of these already, right? Especially things like 4 squared. We've seen that already. And we've also seen things like 3 cubed. Okay, we've seen those types of exponents already before, these types of powers. Okay, so take a look at the example at the bottom. It says write as a power. So if I take my pen out, actually let's go to the check. Check on the next page. It says check number 1. Write that down. Check 1A. It says write as a power. So the first one has 1. Okay, so this would be 2 to the, what should go in that box? Right on, a 6. 2 to the 6. We have 6 2's, okay, so we would have a 6 in that box, okay? And we want to write that as a superscript up high, okay? Let's try another one, okay? So 1B is 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. What would be the power here? Right on, 5 to the 4th. Excellent, okay? And let's try C, because C throws a little bit of a curveball here. We have a -10 times -10 times -10, okay? So we have 3 times -10, and notice the brackets is around the -2, okay? So that would make our base what? Our base is also -10, okay? Notice the bracket is around the -2, otherwise we would just be multiplying the 10, okay? And what's our exponent? 3, right on. So that says we have 3 -10s that we're multiplying together, okay? And same thing for D. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Okay, 4 times 4. And if you say Gesundheit, oh, thank you so much. That's very nice. Okay. This would be right on. That would be the power for that one. And the last one here in our check. Oh my goodness. When there's lots to write out, it takes a little bit, okay? And you're just looking at it, so while you're looking, you can figure it out. What would be the power here? Excellent. Okay, so I would like you to try out number 2 as well. Pause the video to try out check number 2, okay? And then we're going to take a look at evaluating powers, okay, for example number 2. Okay, example number 2. Okay, says write as repeated multiplication and in standard form. So the first one says, okay, it says 2 to the 4th. So repeated multiplication just means writing out all the 2's. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And standard form means saying what the product is. Okay, so 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 gives us 16. Right on. Oh, if I make a mistake, there's no one here to say, Miss Labiuk, you wrote that wrong, okay? But feel free to write a comment or send me a message so I can fix it, okay? Notice there's 4 2's, right? There's our exponent, and the base is 2, that's why it's all 2's. Okay, and then the other one is 5 cubed, okay? So how many 5's would we have written out? We would have 3, right on, okay? And in standard form, which would be the product or the answer, that would be 125. Excellent, okay. So I want you to try out the table. So I'm gonna say here, try, check, number 1 on page, what would that be? Page 56, okay? And then let's take a look at negative signs, okay? Okay, so when we start to add negative signs into our powers, it changes things just a little bit, okay? So, example number 3 says identify the base, then evaluate each power, okay? So if we take a look at the first one, okay, it says brackets minus 5 to the 4. Okay, I'm gonna scroll this up a little bit, okay? 5 to the 4. So what does that mean in expanded form? Okay, this tells us that our base is minus 5 and that we have 4 of them. Okay, and because there's an even number of negative integers, we know that our product is going to be positive. Right on. Okay, so 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, 625. So there was our repeated multiplication. Let's see how many words I could add in here. Multiplication. Whoa, right off the thing. This was standard form. Okay, this was our base. This was our exponent. Okay, and the next one has negative 5 to the 4. Okay, and what's the big difference that you notice between these two? What is the difference? Right, A has no brackets, A has brackets, B has no brackets. So when there are no brackets, the base is 5, because you look at what is directly in front of the exponent. Here, what's directly in front of the exponent is encompassed by the brackets. no brackets, we have to look at just what is in front. So that would mean we would have a negative and then all of our 5s. Okay, so when we write down the product, okay, it's going to be negative, and then what's 5 times 5 times 5 times 5? 625. Okay, so the negative sign applies to the whole expression. Okay, let's take a look at the check. Okay, number 1 shows, let's try this, check number 1A. Says -1 to the 3rd. Okay, so what would be the base? The base is -1. Right on. So how would we write that out in repeated multiplication? Excellent. And then what would our standard form be, or our answer, or our product? It would be -1. Okay, we have 3 negative integers, so that's odd, which means our answer is also going to be odd. Okay, and let's take a look at B. I'll just do a couple. Okay, here we have -10 cubed. Okay, how would that look in standard form? Okay, well first, what is our base? Our base is, different. It's just 10. Don't include that negative. Okay, so we're going to have minus and then 10, 10, 10. Okay, so our answer, or our standard form, will be negative. Then take out your calculator, 10 times 10 times 10, 1,000. Okay, so try the rest of the checks and then the practice questions on page 57 and 58. Okay, so try remaining check questions, then practice on page 57 and 58. Awesome job. Awesome job. Wish I was with you guys. It would be so much more fun than doing this via video. Okay,